I mean, they are quite tough to handle. We go on this spot, much bigger. That's how we like them. Hi, welcome to Fishing Squad. Well, we're back again. Just walking down to Mark. We did get up late this morning, probably going on a little bit later than I've been going on lately. That's not a bad thing. I'm going fishing it down again and then probably back up. We've got bigger tides than last week, so I'm expecting there to be more mackerel about, and there's a better chance of taupe today, I'd imagine. I'm fishing 2 rods on bottom. I'll be chucking feathers about to start with. Anything will do for bait really, for taupe or also congers or whatever. I'm hoping there's going to be plenty of mackerel about. I'm feeling confident on mackerel front. We haven't got any bait with us today, so we're relying on Nick to get us some. She'll be chucking a Dexter wedge about. So yeah, just have to see how we get on. My braid setup, I had to change one of my multipliers last week, so I lost some braid on a lobster pot. I had to go up in poundage because that's all I had, to 80 pound on one of my reels. But I only had like a 77 pound leader. It was Fladden Maximus shock leader, and when I was getting stuck a lot of the time, it was obviously severing my leader knot. So I bought some £100 mono for the shock leader, if you like. That should sort that problem out. So when you get stuck, if you don't pull the rig out or whatever, it won't snap on the knot, hopefully. So we'll just have to see how that goes. I've had 4 days. I do 4 on 4 off at work, so like I'm on my 4 off again. I've just done 4 on. Could have done with getting some Gemini splashdowns because I lost quite a few last week because of small tides. So I'm a bit short on them. So on 1 rod, I'm going to turn the Pulley Rig round and use it as a running leisure rig. Got confidence in that rig. That's what my dad uses all the time. He's got loads of taupe on that setup. Obviously, it'll mean you're not clipping your bait down or up. Just a point, I don't really like the up and over rigs either as a solution to that on rough ground. Because when you're reeling in, when you haven't got a fish on, your hook's trailing like 5 foot of line between your lead and your hook, if you like. And it just snags sometimes, you end up losing it. So I'm not a fan of using the up and over rig. I'd rather just use a long running leisure rig. That's what this will be. And we'll see how that gets on. It's a cheaper option as well. I'll use it to full effectiveness tomorrow. I'm using the Pulley Rig clipped on where you clip the bait on, basically, onto your main line. Onto your main line. But tomorrow, so I'll have time tonight to tie some rigs up. I'm going to fish it simply with the body as such. It'll be just straight to my shock leader on my reel rather than it being separate, if you know what I mean. I'll explain that tomorrow anyway, but that'll be probably in the second video. But it's an effective rig. I believe it's better than the Pulley Rig. Some people probably don't. For this type of fishing, I believe the running leisure rig is better than the Pulley Rig, but it don't cast as well. And an up and over rig does cast as well, obviously, but it's more components that you're going to lose, that you're going to throw in the sea, that you're going to waste your money on. Wow, we've got a right view of the coast today, guys. Makes us stop. I've been shocked by a couple of sheep at the gate there. We've got a right view of the coast. See how cloudy it is. It's quite cloudy, but there's a clear view down the coast. It looks beautiful. The sea's flat calm, it's like glass. Again, I don't really think they're very good conditions for taupe, but we'll just look back on some memories. And it's 3 years today since I caught one at this time of year, which was the earliest one I've ever had. It's always a good omen. It was quite a calm day that day. So we'll just see how we get on. We've got bigger tides, like I say, than last week, so we can only give it a go. So we can do it, so we'll see you down there. So just quickly, Nick's going to put a Dexter wedge on a light spinning rod. We need to be quick because I need to get these feathers banged out and get some mackerel for bait. Just got a boat going past now. He's got a rod on back of it. It's only a little bit of sib. And then I've got my tray from last week. It's a bit of a tangle. It'll untangle in a minute. I've just putting them on again, basically. So we're gonna get fired up. I'm not doing much footage for spinning at all. So we're just gonna get cracked on, get some bait, and then get the tote baits out. It's into a fourth fish. She's had, well, she would have had 3 pollock, but 1 dropped off. She had 2 pollock. I'm gonna put a pollock bait out in a minute. I think we've got another one on here. I don't think it's a mackerel. We're gonna put some mackerel. It's no pollock. Reasonable size, these guys are, you know, they're good 30 centimetres just. They're just in. We've already got 2, so I'm going to keep a 3rd one. Then we'll see if we can catch some mackerel, I think. Are you having another recast then? Okay. Come off at the boat, that, just went round the corner. So yeah, I'm just going to put 1 rod out on the bottom for now. A bit first bait going out. I've only got 1 rod tackled up. I think I've got an 8-0 tamers up there that I had. I bought a pack of tamers last year. I don't think they're bad hooks, to be fair. Jamie had a taupe on one last year. You know, they're pretty decent. I've got a back hook of a 10-0 Kiki, 135 pound wire, rig bodies last week, and on this rod I've got my Gemini splashed down. I've got 4 spinning round. I've got 4 left, just had a count up, but I've also got some Trident rotor bait clips you can get away with using sometimes. You might have to use a paper clip or a split ring or something in them though. We'll see. I've used them before and they've worked. It's not panic stations just yet. So I'm going to wang this out and then truck feathers about for another hour, then probably put the other rod out. I've got 3 pollock down there. I've only used half a pollock there, so we'll see how it goes. Hopefully some mackerel turn up. I'm confident of mackerel still, but I've got to get big rods out. So yeah, I'll take it from there. That's that rod out. It's got a bit of a current at right at the minute. I could put some shrink tube on it today, as you saw last week. Fitted a reel seat to it. Still not, I'm not very good at with pendulum casting and stuff. I just do overhead cast, hence why my reels so far out my rod. I haven't got anything sorted with my other gorilla rod yet as far as spinning. I'm going to get a sliding reel seat for the one.
Which one do you want?
I'll have a cream cheese onion if you want. Yeah, I'm going to get a sliding reel seat for the one. I just think it's less hassle, but at least I've sort of made it look respectable with the blue. I can tell which one's which as well, which rods are which. Bit of OCD. I like to pair reels and rods together, and I can't handle them being just the same. I need to know which rod's caught most fish and what fish. I don't really suffer with OCD, but I suppose if there's an example of me doing slightly, it'd be that, yeah. So well, I'm going to throw feathers around for a bit more, get some more bait, and hopefully get another rod out on bottom. So we'll fish the running ledger rig. We'll call it an upside down pulley, if you like. It's not quite upside down. I'm going to put a running ledger rig on the one. We'll see how we get on. So I'm confident something will show. Be nice to get a tote, but let's see if we can get some mackerel first. You know what that is? That shiny silvery belly. Them greens and blues on the back and blacks. It's a fresh mackerel. I'm going to tackle the other bottom rod up now. Just spin around. The other bottom fishing rod up now with that running ledger rig that I mentioned earlier. Rebait the other rod, put some fresh mackerel on. Just had a few clicks on ratchet on that pollock. I don't know if it was the tide or if something's picked it up and just let it go, I don't know. So we'll see. Tide's stopped running now a bit as well, so let's get them both out with fresh mackerel on and carry on feathering. When I got that mackerel and it ripped rod out my hand, I just did one long drawback, just went boom. I think there might have been more on start, I'm not sure. It certainly felt like it. Nick's just lost a fish as well. So we'll get some fresh mackerel on, see if we can get some taupe or something. Right, so I've just got a tail, so I've just cut that mackerel in half. I've got the tail section, I've put a line, say that's 8 inches, I've done a 6-inch line, or 6.5-inch line from the tail down. So with that, I'm not setting up exactly the best of place. So I'm going to get this bottom hook on here, your pennel rig. I'm going to go in and out through the skin. That then gives you something to work against with your bait elastic. I've got some better bait elastic than last week, not much of it, but I've got some better. So then you just whip that up. And fresh mackerel's quite slippy into it, you know, you've got to be you've really got to put quite a bit of elastic on when you're using some big baits, depending on what your hook pattern is and stuff. So I just whip that up. As you can see, it is slipping on the mackerel skin a bit. But it's doing the job. Really give it some right the way up the shank. If you notice I haven't trimmed the end of the tail off either, you don't need to with this one. The weight of your hooks counteracts any potential of it tangling up or whatever. I've never really had a problem with my rig tangling up because I've left the tail on of a mackerel. Like that. So that's that. I just come down with this second hook. I don't really do a full turn in the wire with the shank of that hook. I'm just aiming to just nick it in the bait. If that hooks the taupe, it hooks the taupe, doesn't it? That's what we're aiming for. That. Nice bait, that, isn't it? Get that cast out. I'll bait the other rod up. Right, this is the running ledger rig. I've got an O'Shaughnessy hook and a circle in that. Foot and a half of wire-ish. Probably just under, probably 14 inches. 2-0 swivel, 150 pound rig body of about 4 foot. It's just a pulley rig the other way up my pulley. By the time I pulley on, I put weight on it. It's not great for casting, don't get me wrong, but as long as you get 60 yards out of here, you've got a chance of catching anything. I've got a £20 Wheatling core line on that. I've got a Gemini clip there that I'm just going to put my weight on for casting, if it stays on it. Tomorrow what I will be doing, when I've had a chance to tie some rigs up, just some hook lengths, I'll be doing away with the rig body and just fishing it straight onto my main line, straight through to that hook snood with the weight attached to, slide up and down the line. So we'll just see how we get on. I'm going to cast this out. If it casts. It's just for casting, I'm clipping that on there. It's only on £20. I've got braid on it, it's quite powerful. Even with it being like a up and over rig. It's a long up and over rig basically. Not an up and over rig, a running ledger rig. I've already said I don't like up and overs. You don't have as much control when you're reeling them in on rough ground, I don't think. You need to get quick up and out the snags quick on here. Up and over rig don't allow you to do that. Oh, I've got a swivel down, I forgot about that. Right, so it's just going to be a gentle lob out. I'm going to have to go to the left, I think, because my line's on to the right on the other rod. I mean, you can see how long it is, can't you? But it should cast okay. I'm not going to try and just get it up in air, get it moving. That's it. Let it sink to the bottom. Hopefully Mr. Topi will be circling these baits in a minute. But it does work. You see that cast? It does work. I'm sure you guys that have got a better cast on you than me probably get that further out than that, but I'm happy where that landed. Caught my PB tope within that distance. Not a big deal at all. I think it's like a man thing, isn't it? Who can cast further, who does this first, who does that first, it's one of them, isn't it? It's an ego thing, isn't it? Alright, so we'll leave them out. Basically, I've got about half a Pollack here that I'll just chop up and throw in because it's gone a bit dry in the sun. It's only the tail section. Will put some scent in water. My bait come back untouched by the way as well after that. Last bait up, so I've got mackerel on both. But we're just waiting for first taupe foot channel then now basically. It's going to happen soon I'm sure. Let's make sure they're both in run. Yeah they are. I'm going to have a few more casts for mackerel anyway, we'll see if we can get some more. So both rods are out fishing. Just a bit higher up. Sorry, Nick's just trying to get my well phone signal. Had a dainty bite on the running ledger rig, chewy bite like a crab or a doggy. I left it out, I reeled it in, there wasn't much left of the half mackerel I put on. That tail section on the other rod's still out. I put a full Pollack on the running ledger rig now. It's been out for about an hour, that tail section. Nothing's touched it, so I've just left it out. I did miss a mackerel when I was spinning. It just didn't sink the hooks into it, or them, I don't know. It's been tough going, to be fair, like I say. So I'm going to just carry on with feathering for now and then see what happens. It's been a tough session so far. 4 pollock, 1 mackerel, nothing on bottom so far. I've had rods out now about an hour and a half on bottom, and during that time I've more or less been spinning constantly. I did get stuck into a mackerel, it felt like a mackerel, and it just spat the hook. You know, like when you do a long drawback, it just locks up. It was one of them. So I might put a different style of feathers on just to see if that helps. I think I will do. Because I've got these ones that have got a foil fleck on them, and when the sun's shining on the water they pick it up. I do prefer using them, but it's not really a sunny day. So I've got like some daylight ones in my bag, I might try them. It's worth trying different things, isn't it? I mean, should be some mackerel here today, you know, in big numbers really. But it's not to be so far. I think we might just need the sea just to turn and get a bit more pull and a bit of, you know, just a bit of sound to it. It's very quiet down here, and to be honest, you know, I've never really done that well, I feel like I say, when it's like this. But I'm here to catch whatever's here, so I think I'll change feathers, try different feathers, see if we can get some more fresh mackerel. I've got 1 pollock left for bait. Some seabirds circling out, they look like they're circling something maybe in the water. Hopefully it's mackerel, we will see. I'm going to change feathers anyway, see if that makes a difference. Sound big-headed, but first cast with them new feathers, mackerel. We'll get this one dispatched, have a few more casts, and we'll get some fresh mackerel put on them 2 rods up bottom. Just shows you, doesn't it? Just a change, you know. When you're fishing, you've got to change if it's not happening. It's not been happening. It's 1-1 though, as far as like each type of feather, if you know what I mean. The other rig caught 1, this one caught 1. We'll keep at it and see if we get some more. The other one is an absolute jumbo mackerel in. That one might be going for barbecue, I'm not sure yet, so we can get some more. It just shows that subtle change, it's working. Get in. I mean, I've put a pollock out, half a pollock, and I've hooked a blenny of some description. I think he's still alive as well. But he's up through back of him. Just get him off a hook. He's on bottom hook. I cannot honestly say on the O'Shaughnessy he might not survive. I'm going to have to get pliers. Just give me a sec. I think it's taking the Michael, that innit? Try not to kill him, he's alive still. And he isn't hooked in his gut, should I say. I mean, he's still alive, look. Just a common blenny, isn't he? I just don't know what that is on his head. Where is it? It's just his eyes, isn't it? Yeah, I don't think he's poisonous by any means. We'll get him put, got him up, get him put back. At least I'm not blanking on bottom. I ain't come to catch them though. We'll get him put back. Classic. Yeah, well, I've never seen that happen before. 8 O'Shaughnessy, a 3-ounce blenny. Nick's down here to left of me, catching pollock after pollock. She's on pollock 6, I think now. She's unhooking them herself, putting them back and everything. I'm going to have a few more casts for some mackerel. Just rebaited both rods foot bottom, as you saw. Hence why I reeled in that blenny. It did well to get on point of an O'Shaughnessy hook, didn't it? Just shows you, nothing should surprise you with sea fishing at all. There's always something that happens. Nothing should surprise you, but it does sometimes, doesn't it? You know, so we've got to use a full mackerel in total, like halved it, half in each rod, put bait ups. I'll have a few casts with feathers, see if we can get something else out. Keep up the Italian accent. I got 1, I got 2, I got 3 mackerellis. Get in. But we'll have mackerel on the barbecue tonight. Nick's gutted because we won't have a kebab. We'll just decide to have a kebab. I had a cast with feathers, got 3 on. So, mackerellis on the barbecue. No. Another one, and he's massive again like that other one. Look at the size of him. Get in. They'll do for bait tomorrow if I don't use them all today, obviously. I don't think we're having a barbecue tonight. It's too much like hard work, innit? Yeah, so we'll have a few more casts, get some fresh baits out and see what happens.
And have a kebab.
And have a kebab, yeah. Changed our mind about barbecue. Hey. Alright, so I've just put the last couple of bait ups out. Put full Pollack on. Set up with running ledger rig. That's done the only fish on bottom today, that Blenny. Yes. That's an achievement, that, getting one of them on an 8 O'Shaughnessy. That's the running ledger rig that's been put about 50 yards out probably, because I put a full Pollack on it. I've snipped the tail off the Pollack just to make it a bit more easier to bait up with. I've put more or less full mackerel on this one, on the pulley rig that's gone a little bit further. Again, I did snip the tail off. Snipping the tail off, it does help sometimes with putting a full one on, but you don't have to snip it off all the time. That's what I'm pointing more earlier. But it's been a slow start to the year on taupe. Like I say, today's the anniversary of the 3-year anniversary of the early I've caught one. I do know people have been catching them earlier this year, but this particular mark, if you know it, it's pretty much fishing out it has done, other than probably, to my knowledge, 1 year probably. The runs will probably come later on in the year, to be fair. I'd say middle of August onwards, hopefully. That's when we're back next. We could still get one today though, obviously. The positive is we've been getting our baits back intact, which tells me there ain't much else off here. You know, a couple of baits have been chewed a bit, obviously. That Blenny, probably a sign of what's going off down there. If they're feeding, you'd imagine that there's no huss or congers knocking about at the moment. Or certainly not feeding anyway, because they're the sort of fish that huss like, don't they? Then you sometimes sick them up. So there might be a chance that a taupe could come into the area because your bait's out there longer untouched. But the last two bait, having said that, the last two bait ups, the hooks have been stripped. That's the only bait up there where they have been. I'm just trying to put some things out there in my head, just to let you know my thoughts. You know, I might contradict myself a bit sometimes. Like, at least the mackerel are here again. I've caught one more. How many have I caught? I've caught 7. Have I caught? Have I caught 6 or no? I've caught 7. Yeah. What did I get last week? 4. So I think if I have a few more casts, I'd probably get a few more. But there was a spell in this session. I'm not kidding you. I was just chucking feathers out. Nothing were coming out at all. It's quite interesting the fact that I was fishing at the side of Nick and she were getting a Pollack a chuck more or less for a spell on the Dexter wedge. And I won't catch any on the feathers. It must be the visual thing, you know, because a Dexter wedge is a lot bigger than just a feather. I'm starting to think that visually sometimes it can be a bonus if you want to catch certain bait fish. You know, if you're struggling for mackerel, it might be worth just chucking a Dexter wedge out there just for that visual thing. So that's just basically what's going up in my head at the moment. Thinking if we don't get a taupe off here today, we'll go to the huss mark and just get some huss out tomorrow. So I'm going to have a few more casts with the feathers to try and get some more bait so we don't have to buy any. I've caught some lovely mackerel. I'll show them at the end of the video. There's 2 that are the jumbo, really. Jumbo mackerel, which is pleasing. I was told that if you're getting a lot singularly, it means there's a lot of bait fish about. I'm just going to wind a bit of line on this. If you're getting a lot stringfuls, I've had 1 stringful today, by the way. There might be nothing in it. If you're getting a lot of stringfuls, it means there's not many sand eels about, so they tend to pack up together to get them. If you get them singularly, it means there's loads and the bait fish are all over the place, so the mackerel just scatter. So it's the hunt for him. That's why I got told. I don't know if there's anything in it. It's an interesting theory. It kind of makes sense. But I suppose if you're getting singulars, it might mean there's not many about as well generally. So, but we'll have a few more casts, see if we can get some more. Right, it's totally dead at the minute. I've had a few casts for mackerel again. I haven't got any, so I'm going to keep the 4 that I've got left. 2 of them are quite size of this one. That one, they're quite big then. Look at the size of them, they're lovely size mackerel then. The other 2 aren't bad either, to be fair. Just a bit smaller, like average. Oh, it's nice to know they're here, isn't it? I've had 7 today. Nope, I didn't get any Pollack though myself. You've had about 7 Pollack, didn't you? Obviously I've had that plenty thing. Rods are still out with that last bait up from last update. I'm going to knock it on in half hour, I think, and then that'll be it for this session. We'll try and get on some huss tomorrow, I think. I'd rather be catching fish than waiting. You know, we've had to wait a lot today, even for the mackerel to come around we did. which we don't mind doing. Obviously I managed to get back through this session without having to buy any. So we'll just see what tomorrow brings. I mean, we might change our mind and come back down here, I'm not sure. I don't know exactly what we're doing, so got a few jobs to do up at the cottage. We're going to get them done. See what time it is. The husk mark you can fish through the tides, so we may end up on the husk mark. So we'll see. I'm just going to bag these up. But other than that, unless one of these rods goes screaming off, I think that'll be it. There's no barbecue tonight, I'm afraid. We could have had a barbecue. Paul, mate, I did say we were going to do, but
I want kebab.
Kebab house is calling, mate. We're wrong, aren't we? On every level. Not to worry though. We'll catch you in the next one, guys. Anyway, it's been a pleasure as always. I've enjoyed it. Always enjoyed being down here. I forgot to say, by the way, there'll be some footage in this video as well. We saw in the space of half hour, we've seen porpoise, pilot whales, dolphins and seals. They were all in front of us at one stage or another. There were some boats out in front of us stopping and looking at the dolphins, putting a bit of display on. I've never had that happen before in my life. I've just seen all four species of like mammals in front of us, if you like. Sea life mammals. Would that be the correct way? I don't know. Anyway, so other than that, that'll be it. Like I say, disappointing we had a screaming run off a taupe. Still a bit of time left yet. I don't think that'll happen today, but it may happen tomorrow, you never know. So we'll just see how we get on. Right, catch you later.